From IEP and Henry Ford Jackson Hospital Emergency Services physician, Dr. Jacob Sinkoff. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too.
2 Yetis and one morning show mug, Bart. So I guess you didn't get you never got a Yeti, did you?
You know, I probably have one somewhere.
I think we got some, yeah.
Since the last time you were here, I was at IEP
Oh, yeah?
for a bee sting.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, what happened was, you can probably still see the
Oh, yeah,
mark.
it's still there?
Still, but I had to have one of your fine doctors cut out the stinger with a scalpel.
Oh,
because
goodness.
the stinger had stayed in and my arm was swollen.
How long was it in there for?
Just less than 48 hours.
Okay, so you're just waiting for it to...
Fall out.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to get it out myself. Believe it or not, I played golf with it in there.
Oh, wow.
Do you have tweezers at home?
I couldn't get to it because what happened was I delayed and then the skin grew over it. So.
Yeah, the other thing, tweezers, they actually recommend not using tweezers.
Really?
So when you use tweezers, you squeeze all whatever venom's left in the stinger in even more, so it can make it worse. So if available, that's why it's best to get out as early as possible. Just taking a piece of paper or even like a credit card or something like that and kind of scraping it off. So that way you're not squeezing, any more venom or poison.
I do know that, like, if you have an injury like that, don't leave it in and ignore it. I also, you remember the injury I had where I had the piece of wood go through my hand?
Oh, yeah.
And I had to have outpatient surgery, believe it or not, to get the thing removed. So.
Yeah, wood's organic matter, so it's really good for bacteria to live in. It's very porous, obviously, so. A lot of times wood gets infected very easily. Where a piece of metal, can stay in there for longer periods. Don't recommend it, but it can stay in longer periods of time just because it's, not non-porous.
Yeah.
But wood especially is, very prone to infections.
Yeah. Well, doctors use metal when they put things in your, like joints and pins and stuff. They don't use wood.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They used to.
Those peg legs.
That's right.
Yeah. I have a wood plate in my head. It's nice. It doesn't set off the alarm at the airport.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Well, today we wanted to talk a little bit about golf cart injuries. And interestingly enough, over 15,000 golf cart accidents in the United States require ER visits. So pretty common.
Yeah, so I was doing some research. Yeah, wide range, depending on, you're right in the middle. I was reading anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000, and that's just ER visits.
Right.
So there's probably a lot more injuries too. People going to urgent care, their PCP after injuries, also. So it's like we see a ton, not only on the golf, on the golf course. Lots of people just living on the lake just have them and drive them around. And one other thing I found very interesting is the large percentage of pediatric golf cart injuries.
Okay.
Almost a much higher percentage. I was reading anywhere from a third to a half of ER visits related to golf cart injuries are actually pediatric patients. So,
and kids, they really aren't qualified to drive golf carts.
No. So I think I'm not an expert. I don't know the legality of golf, but driving along the lake, I see a lot of very young children driving golf carts all by themselves. I'm like, I don't know if that's technically legal. Right. And you think about it, they don't have any of the safety devices that. An off-road, even like a four-wheeler it doesn't have brake lights, doesn't have turn signals, doesn't have, obviously no safety harnesses or anything like that. So
they do have that backup beeper.
Some do.
When you put it in reverse, the warn everyone.
I have a horrible habit when I'm driving the golf cart. I dangle my left leg.
Yes.
And I can't stop doing that. I have had a couple injuries. I've had the back wheel roll up onto my left heel before, ruin a pair of shoes, and startle me a little bit.
Yep.
But it's just...
I think that would teach you to keep your feet in the thing.
Next thing I look down and my leg's out.
Yeah, it's just you dangle and it's easy to get your ankle caught.
But you
rolled
can,
up
that's the easiest way to break your leg.
Yep.
I would imagine 100% of golf cart injuries with adults have alcohol involved.
No, not 100.
Probably quite a few. So about of the adults in the golf cart injuries, about 40% of the injuries are caused by just getting completely ejected from the golf cart. So taking a curve really tight, and
it's one of the few vehicles, Bart, where you can drink and drive on property and on the property and.
Boats and golf carts.
It's legal, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, boats a little different. But.
Yeah, and 10% of the time it's just flipping the golf cart too. I've never seen a golf cart flip.
Oh,
See
you've never
patients
golfed
from
with the
golf
Holly
cart.
family.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen them roll down the hill. I've seen, yeah,
We've had a lot. Yeah, we've had a lot.
But when you think about the golf cart, there's a lot of uneven surface. It's pretty easy. There's been a couple times I've even been
For sure.
golfing.
And,
It's like,
and even with the most seasoned of golfers,
Yeah.
this can happen. You know, you can drive into a bunker and flip the cart. There's all kinds of crazy things that can happen.
We had a friend who knew how to disconnect the governor,
Yeah.
as he
Oh,
called
yeah.
it. Yes.
I remember in high school we knew how to do that. Yeah, that was. I'm sure.
Have you seen the
Kind of
new
like
trend on social media where it's, you know, guys are out golfing and while one person is hitting, the other person just drives the cart right into them?
Yeah, those looks like a very easy. I've seen those. I was like, it looks like a very easy way to get injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised like those people
Like,
get
what are we
in.
doing?
Yeah, it's an easy way to tear your ACL. It looked like. Just
Yeah, I
watching
haven't
some of
found
those
anyone
videos.
that's willing to recreate those type of videos yet.
Yeah.
No, and it's also an easy way to get killed.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. There's. I think in Michigan last year there's 6 fatalities just in Michigan last year from golf carts.
Wow.
So it's not something. You fall out of the golf cart and it's funny. There's people that can die from.
Oh yeah,
these
absolutely.
injuries.
Serious injuries for
Yep.
sure.
The other the thing that is concerning, especially in our area with all the lakes, injuries on the water,
Yep.
and of course drownings. And we want to be careful, of course, around water, but you are seeing injuries.
Yep. So, see, obviously, pediatric patients, once again, always make sure parents are, have an eye on kids with swimming, staying hydrated, not diving in the water. I always make the rule just, go to a pool where you know the depth of the pool. With lakes, you don't know the depth. You don't know even if you know the depth, you don't know if there is a tree stump sticking up. So, probably not worth it to dive head first.
One of the biggest things I've found that makes me nervous as a parent is if my daughter's invited to the lake with someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously, you guys know I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
I would be very hesitant to send my 3-year-old out with someone else if I'm not there. My wife even more. So we're at the lake and we always have someone watching her, all the time. And teaching safety early is she knows if she's even near the water, whether on the beach, on a dock, needs to have her life jacket on, even though she could probably swim a little bit, but always needs to have her life jacket on. I've seen a lot of research too, or is definitely having like brightly colored life jackets. Blue kind of life jackets or green life jackets. Kind of if you're looking for so having a brightly colored life jacket if something happens, or easy to spot.
Yeah. Well, here's my advice: your kid's in the water, you don't take your eyes off that kid for 1 second.
That's a good idea, Bart.
Yep. Even pools
Yeah,
also.
for sure.
Yeah, pools for whatever garner some amount or parents think it's more safe to be in the pool, but all it takes is a second. That's literally all it takes. So.
All right. Well, we hope everyone has a wonderful and safe rest of the summer, as well as the Sinkoff family. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
From IEP and Henry Ford Jackson Hospital Emergency Services physician, Dr. Jacob Sinkoff. More of the morning show after this.